Hey guys, this is Apfaganja, and today I'll be showing you the pros and cons of getting a console over PC or a PC over a console. So let's start with the pros for getting an Xbox or a PS3. First of all, consoles are much cheaper. A decent gaming rig for a PC can cost you way over 800, 900 euros, so over $1,000. And you can get an Xbox 360 with a 250 gig hard drive for about $250, $300 only. So this is great for you guys who don't want to spend a lot, but if you're prepared to spend, then get a PC. Alright, also, if you have a console, you can just lie down on your couch and play. You don't have to sit on a desk, behind a desk, on a chair, which is way more uncomfortable. And an Xbox 360 is pretty portable, so you can carry it over to your friend's house and just play it there. Unlike a massive desktop, which you can't just carry around with all the wiring and everything. One of the factors is the wiring. Xbox 360 does not that many cables required, as a PC does. And this is really a minor pro, but all games on Xbox, they have achievements which basically make you want to complete those achievements and get you more into the game. And final pro is you can play split screen with a friend in game modes like, for example, Left 4 Dead, maybe some campaigns in some games, or zombies in Call of Duty, COD 5 and Black Ops. Alright, now we're moving on to the console cons. Xbox and PS3 games are much more expensive than PC games. They're about 65, 70 euros. I don't know how much that is in dollars, probably around 85, 80, 85. While PC games, I got Black Ops for 41 euros, which is about $50, 55 at the most. And all the DLC for Xbox games and PS3 games, they cost 1,200 Microsoft points, which is equivalent to $15. On PC, you can just download the patch for free. For example, in COD 4, the 1.6 patch that gave you 4 extra maps, Creek, what's it called, Chinatown, Winter Crash, and Broadcast. On PC, you just go on gamershell.com and download it for free, and legally, of course. You don't have to pay anything. And another con is Xbox Live and PSN. You have to pay to play online. Like, you can't go on, say, Call of Duty or Left 4 Dead or Dead Space multiplayer without paying. You have to pay additional. I don't know how much it is because I don't have an Xbox, but you have to pay. And one thing that the consoles don't have, or have very rarely, is mods, which are basically modifications to games. For example, in COD 4, you can have a mod, which is basically you're playing in Springfield, and you're a Simpson, basically, like Bart or Marge or Homer Simpson, and you play as them, and you play in Springfield. Or there's a Star Wars mod where you play in some desert town, and you play as stormtroopers and rebels and things. Also, there's a zombie mode multiplayer where basically there's like hundreds of zombies attacking you, and you just have to survive with a bunch of friends. And this is all multiplayer. Okay, and final factor is the red ring of death. This happened to a lot of my friends because maybe about 80% of my gamer friends have Xboxes, and over half of them have had the red ring of death. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically when the green circle of the power button on your Xbox, it turns 3/4 red, and your Xbox stops working. And most of the time you have to get a new one, although if you're lucky you can fix it. On PCs, you don't get red rings of death. If you do have a broken down PC, it's mostly because it caught fire or blew up or something fried inside because you played a game that's too graphically advanced for it. Like, I got Crysis 2, the beta, on my desktop, which isn't very, it's not really good, and the power supply fried, and the graphic card as well, and so I had to get a new one. So you don't get Red Rings of Death on PC. Okay. Alright, now we're going on to the pros and cons for PC. The pictures here are of an Alienware Area 51 ALX desktop, probably the most powerful desktop in the world, and an M15X laptop, which is also amazing. Alright, pros. Graphics on PC, the resolution is much better than on consoles. Even if your Xbox or PS3 has HDMI, it's still gonna be nowhere near PC graphics. Like, PS3 and Xbox can barely scrap 720p, while on PC you can go 1920 by 1080p, you can go 2560 by 1600, and those are amazing graphics. Also, one factor I've mentioned before, games are cheaper there, between 40 and 50 euros, and some are even 20. Like, I got Call of Duty 2, I bought it, it came out in 2005, I got it in 2007, it cost me 24 euro, which is about $30, maybe 35. Okay, and as I mentioned before, on PC there are thousands of mods like the Call of Duty 4 Simpsons mod, or the Left 4 Dead 2 Crash Bandicoot mod, which basically it's in a Crash Bandicoot environment. I haven't played it, but I've seen it on YouTube. And one other thing is, I don't know a lot of, I don't play a big variety of games, but I know that Call of Duty has that, and Left 4 Dead has that. Dedicated servers. Dedicated servers are basically when people make their own servers and they make their own custom built maps, and they put them on, and you just pick a server and play it. On Xbox you have lobbies, which basically you pick a game mode and it picks the map for you. And in some dedicated servers you actually vote for which map you want, and it's really good. And you can put up rules like no noob tube, no martyrdom, no last stand, etc, etc. And PC games can be downloaded for free legally or off torrent websites, so you don't actually have to buy the game unless you want to play multiplayer, because when you download off torrents, I don't think you can only play on private servers, and those aren't very good. Okay, and the cons. A hardcore gaming rig that can run all the latest games can cost you over $1,500 easy. For example, the laptop shown here, it costs about $1,800 or 1,800 euros, and the desktop here, depending on how much you personalize it, the starting price I believe is $4,000, but if you put everything to the max, it can cost you as much as $12,000. And every 2 or 3 years you need a hardware upgrade to keep playing all the latest games. Like this desktop of mine, it could barely scratch Modern Warfare 2, and when I tried to run Black Ops on it, it just froze and shut down. So I have to get a new graphic card, a new processor, a new motherboard, just to play Black Ops. So instead I just got a new laptop. Okay, on multiplayer games, like COD, you require a good internet connection, and you don't rely on the host connection. For example, in lobbies, you rely on the host connection. Like if the host connection goes down, everybody's goes down. But most of the time that doesn't happen. But on PC, if you have a bad connection, then you can't really play, because you're gonna lag like hell, and everybody isn't going to. I'm not sure if that's a pro or a con, but I just listed it in the cons list. And a last con is there's no split screen available. You can play online cooperative or online zombies with random people, but you can't play split screen. So now we come to the conclusion of whether you should get an Xbox or a PS3. Oh, and here are some pictures of some mods for Call of Duty. Here's a custom built map. Basically someone built it, made the map themselves, and you just play on it, and It's not actually an official map made by Infinity Ward. It's a map made by a user. And here we've got a mod. Basically, it's zombie mod. You gotta say 20 hunters and 20 zombies, and basically the zombies have to just stab or bite, I don't know, the hunters, and when all the hunters are dead, or they're all zombies, the game is won, and basically the hunters have to stay alive as much as possible. So you can see here that the hunters managed to kill 152 zombies, and the zombies managed to kill 29 hunters. Also, another pro is that PCs, there is the limited number of players on a server is determined by the guys who made the server. On Xbox, it's usually 12 players, I think, 18 for Ground War. On PC, I played on Shipment, which is a small map. It's like 5 times smaller than Rust on Modern Warfare 2. I played it with 64 people. That lagged like hell, but it was real fun. Okay, so if you don't have the money, then you should get a console. But if you're prepared to spend a couple $1,000s, then you should definitely get a PC, because you're going to get much more out of it than you would get out of a console. Second, a console, they don't change. You get a game, you just keep playing it. Nothing much will change. And PC gaming, people making new maps, new mods, like every day. You just download them and play them. Like, on Black Ops and COD 5, there are 8 official zombie maps, including Dead Ops Arcade. On PC, there are hundreds of maps. Maybe dozens, not hundreds. There are dozens of maps made by people every day, and some of them are actually really good. Better than the official ones. Okay, consoles, they're much better for playing with your friends at home, because you can just relax on the couch or whatever, and just sit there and play with friends, split screen, whatever you want, play together online with your friend as a guest. On PC you can't do that, you just have to take turns. Okay, and in the end, it just comes down to what you prefer. And if you prefer PC, then obviously you're going to play PC, like I do. If you prefer Xbox, which most of my friends do, then you would play Xbox. And just because someone plays a different console doesn't mean they suck. I'm sure that PS3 gamers are just as good as Xbox gamers and PC gamers. So that's it for my video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.